RMJ movie reviews back again. Now this one is actually an on-the-fly movie review. Of course, you all know when I do on-the-fly movie reviews, I like to do them from the car, switch up the location a little bit. But this time, it's pitch black outside, so I decided to do my on-the-fly movie review from the man cave. So I am doing an on-the-fly movie review of what's the movie called? Mel Gibson's new movie, Hacksaw Ridge, starring Andrew Garfield and Agent Smith. Wow, I really enjoyed this film. I really highly enjoyed this film. Look, I'm gonna digress right from the beginning and go ahead and get the Mel Gibson baggage out the way. Look, I have been a long-time fan of Mel Gibson. Obviously, I'm an 80s baby, so of course I'm a fan of Mad Max and obviously Lethal Weapon, his two strongest characterizations in the last 30, 40 years. I think the guy's a fantastic actor. He's just as fantastic of an actor as he is a director. He's extraordinary. I like The Man Without a Face. I saw that film when it first came to video, 1993. I liked that film, or maybe it was 94, somewhere around that time. But I saw it when it first came on video. Braveheart was a movie that I was 13 when Braveheart came out. I had no interest in seeing that film, and when I rented it from a whim from Blockbuster Video, it was great. I love Braveheart. Passion of the Christ. I like that film. I am not a person who was raised in a very strict, overly religious household. So when people get anal about the Passion of the Christ and, the violence and all of that, to me, I just look at it strictly as a film. So I don't carry that kind of baggage in it, but I think it's a very well done film, and I like it. I like it as a film. Apocalypto, I'm not as crazy about. I thought it was good, and I wasn't really kind of expecting that kind of. I didn't realize that it was kind of more of I guess, action picture warrior story told in a from a time period way back when. But I liked it for what it was. You know what I mean? I thought it was okay. It wasn't a movie that I want to watch over and over again. But I thought it was very well done. And, it was just hyper grotesquely violent. I think that first battle when they go into almost, that's what the bad guy calls them, almost village with dangling the baby. It was cringeworthy. Good stuff. Now, this film is great. It's just great. That's all I can say. It's a great film. Is it the best Mel Gibson movie? I will say for sure, it is definitely better than, obviously, Man Without a Face. That was Mel Gibson's first movie. I think it was. It's better than that movie, and it's better than Apocalypto. Is it better than Braveheart? I haven't seen Braveheart in a long time, but I remember really loving Braveheart. I still do love Braveheart, but I don't know. I got more attachment to Braveheart, so I can't say it's better than Braveheart, but I still think that whether it's number one or number two, this is number one or number two of Mel Gibson's 4 films. It's extraordinary. Andrew Garfield gives a very warm, sympathetic, sweet, heroic performance. Vince Vaughn, who then when Vince Vaughn came out, I first discovered Vince Vaughn from The Lost World, Jurassic Park, when that film came out in '97. And I just could not figure out why he was hosting the E! Special about that movie and why he was being pushed so much. I've grown to really like Vince Vaughn a lot more as a dramatic actor, in which he did a lot of dramas and Clay Pigeons and stuff like that from back in the day. I actually like him more in dramas because I really like him in the movie The Cell with Jennifer Lopez. I'm not as crazy about the movie, even though I own it, because it's a special edition. But I really liked him in that movie. A lot of people trash, but I thought he was good in that film. And I really liked him on True Detective Season 2, regardless of the uneven season. But I really like... And the guy from Avatar, I think, is it Sam Worthington? I can't remember his name, but the guy who's in Avatar, he's really good. In Clash of the Titans, he's Clash of the Titans remake. He's really good here. I mean, he's really good in this movie, and I really like because he's very handsome, and he kind of, I don't know, his performance is very good. I really liked it, and of course, Hugh, what's his name? Agent Smith. Is it Hugh Weaving? I'm sorry, guys. I'm having a brain fart. I can't remember his name, but the guy plays Agent Smith. Extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. But he's a great actor anyway. The whole movie is just it's a well-told, glossy, very tightly woven story. And I love how it's a story about someone who has courage to stick to his guns and believe what's in his heart, what's in his core. And morally, I mean, and also too, I like that. The other thing too is that my grandfather was a World War II veteran. He fought in World War II. And, for me, I think the film it really pays honor to the men who served. It's funny, digressing, kind of when I watched this film, when I graduated from high school in 2000, obviously there was nothing going on because that was the year before the towers got hit. And I was actually, recruiters were like coming to the high school and talking to us, and I almost joined the Army. I remember telling my mother had a fit about it. Now, for me at the time, I was 18, and I was talking to the recruiter, and he was like, and I still remember his exact words because he had kind of a foreign accent. He was like, "Do you like action?" He used those words. He said, "Do you like action?" You remember, this is 2000, so it's my last year of high school, and I had seen all the the Nicolas Cage's 90s action, Jerry Bruckheimer action movies, and and Face Off and all that. So in my mind, he's saying action, I'm thinking of this stuff, even though I know in reality it wouldn't be that. But I almost joined it, and my mother, and I didn't think anything of it because nothing was happening at that time. My mother had a fit about it, and I had still contemplated about joining either the Coast Guard or the Army. Then next year, the towers got hit. Actually, when I was in English class at my local community college, class was stopped that day, and I didn't want to join the service anymore after that. But I will say that, like, when I see films and I see, like, and it's based on this real gentleman who served in the war and really did this. He went into combat. And that was against what he believed in. He did not believe, because he saw that he had it within him to be brutal, based on his father was a war veteran, and his father was suffering from, probably, like Mel Gibson said in the interview, what they called back then probably shell shock, post-traumatic stress disorder. And it terrorizes the mom and terrorizes the kids, and he's an alcoholic, which is very typical. Digressing again to many guys who I know who are the same age as me, who actually fought in war after the 9/11 happened. Some of my friends who I know who did fight in war, I do see some of those traits in them. Some of my close friends, not so much brawling and stuff, but definitely some of the alcoholism, the quick temper, very short temper kind of stuff. I've heard from one person I knew who that they would have the nightmares. I'd heard, but when I see just kind of stuff when these men put their lives on the line, and these real guys who did it, it does make me think that if I could go back in time, there is a part of me that wished I would have joined the Army, or at least done some type of service. I kind of wish I would have joined. I'm 35 years old too now, so I wouldn't want to go in now at my age. I'd rather, if I would have gone, I rather would have gone when I was, a young kid, 18, 19, maybe the oldest 20, 21, But what I really take away from this movie is just the fact that, and again, like I said, it pays respect to really what these men go through when they go into war. You know what I mean? It's a horrific, ugly, chaotic thing that makes no sense to anyone. Nobody knows why they're doing it. And that's another thing I took away from the movie is like, like all the great war movies, the Saving Private Ryan, Platoon, Full Metal Jacket, The Walking Dead. There was a movie called The Walking Dead. It was a predominantly black cast, Dead Presidents. All those films just give you, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? And I like the fact that it can kind of tie in when you see the consequences of war, the act of war, and see what it does to a person to see those things and be around those atrocities and all of it. And to have someone who, wants to be a medic and he wants to, by choice, go into this situation but say, hey, I'm not going to use any weapons. That is against what I believe. So I'm going to act heroically and I'm going to go into this horrific situation, but I will not use any weaponry. That is not what I believe in. I won't do it. And he does it he will not stop. He gets, obviously put down and all this stuff by his comrades, his superiors and all of that. And he holds true to what he believes in. And the fact that this is all real is nuts to me, man. And the fact, I think really, and aside from the message of courage and paying tribute to the men and to the men who actually go into war to protect us, I really like that another theme of the movie is just being true to yourself, being true to what you believe in. I think, digressing again, this review is getting a little bit long. I'm getting deep with it, man, because the movie was really good. But I really think in life, digressing and tying into kind of one of the themes of the movie is I love how I really think that in life people would really be much happier and would live more fulfilling lives if people could be as true to their beliefs as this dude is in this movie. I think a lot of us don't hold true to our beliefs for whatever reasons. You know what I mean? Whatever outside, external reasons or whatever. But I think that's why, and I love the part that drives it home towards the end of the movie is when Sam Avatar, I'm sorry, I think it's Sam Worthington. I think that's his name. I'm sorry, guys. The guy from Avatar, when he says that, and I will say that moment touched me. When Andrew Garfield has already rescued a certain amount of men with no weaponry. This dude is going into horrific bombings. Just horror this guy is going into. He's rescued all these men with no weapon. Just his own body and morphine, And Sam Avatar Worthington says to him, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he had said something to him like, when I first met you, I just didn't think you were a good soldier. I'm paraphrasing. I didn't think you were a good soldier. But he looked at him and said, I really hope you can forgive me because what you did out there was extraordinary. I ain't gonna lie. That kind of got me, man, when he looked at him and said, I really hope that you can forgive me. I was just like, damn, that was a good moment. Because, aside all the bloodshed and all that, it presents war as horror. We're immune to that. Saving Private Ryan and Platoon, we seen all that. But that moment right there was just like, man, that was... And even some stuff with Agent Smith when he's talking to his sons at the dinner table when one of his sons joins before Andrew Garfield joins. Really good stuff there. But that is a moment that I love. I love that moment where he asks him for forgiveness. That is and that's an interesting little thing too. Could go a little bit further with that thing, but I like that moment. And also the fact that that was based on, I think those things did happen. I don't know this gentleman's full story, but I think that stuff did happen. And that was a powerful moment in the movie to me when he asked him, "Can you forgive me?" I was just like, man, That's that was a good moment, man. I really liked that moment. So now that I got all the mushy soldier stuff out the way, let's just talk about just the other stuff. What I really love in the first half of the movie, before we get into the battle stuff, I love kind of the sweet romance aspect of the story. And they're because it's a love story too, you know, and it's really kind of a love story first, and then the battle part is kind of secondary. But it does the traditional setup of the guy smitten by the girl, then he goes to basic training, then the war. It follows that 3-act structure. But I think it's Andrew Garfield and the young lady, I don't know the actress's name, but it's a very genuinely sweet romance. And I love how in real life, when men and women are smitten with each other, you really get goofy. You get like goofy and you do things that are odd. And I love how Andrew Garfield is just like so smitten by her that he just acts borderline a little bit creepy. But it's not like because he's trying to be Michael Myers. It's just that he's so smitten by her that all he can do is sit there and smile and look goofy. You know, that happens sometimes. Hasn't happened to me in a couple of years, but sometimes that does happen. I love that stuff. Good stuff. In the moment at the movies, traditional stuff, but still well done and well acted. Oh man, when they get to the boot camp, man, with Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn is doing a dramatic performance here, but I love how he throws in the Wedding Crasher isms, you know, and swinger isms. I think Vince Vaughn was in Swingers. Yeah, he throws those isms in there, and he's really good. I love Vince Vaughn in this movie. He's just great, man. I mean, I've become more of a Vince Vaughn fan because everybody loves Wedding Crashers. I thought it was okay. I'm not the best. I gotta watch it again. But I love Vince Vaughn in this movie, and I love the scene where you go into the barracks, and it does the traditional. You're introducing the guys who are in the unit, and everybody has a nickname, and of course, you know, Vince Vaughn has to come in and do the racial insults, and you're ugly, and you're this. I mean, that's just part of, you know, when you go into basic training. So it fits all that. It's funny. It's great. It's really good stuff. I just love Vince Vaughn in this movie. And another touching moment to me that I really like is when Vince Vaughn comes, after he gets beat down by his comrades, later on Vince Vaughn comes back to him and he's just like, look, man, I mean, I can see you're not crazy. You really just believe in what you're telling us, man. And he's like, look, man, there's nothing wrong with just, man, look, just pack up and leave, man. I'll walk you out of here right now, man. There's no shame in that, man. And I thought I was very touched by that moment because he realized that this dude is not crazy. This dude just, his belief is that strong that he was with him in that moment to say, look, man, let's just walk out of here. There's no shame. And I like how Andrew Garfield won't do it. You know, I really like that moment. It was a good moment. But this is a great movie. I thoroughly really enjoyed this movie. Great work from Mel Gibson. Fantastic director. You know, regardless of you know, look, the man has apologized. He got his help. He's sober. You know, he was a sick drunk. You know, hey, you know, but he's a fantastic artist. He's very well done. So that is my review of Hacksaw Ridge. I love this film. I love this film. Thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. And leave comments down below about Mel Gibson as an actor, his directing this movie, all the comments about Hacksaw Ridge. RMJ Movie Reviews. I'm going to see you all soon.